Metro Vancouver homes continued to sell at an unprecedented rate. There were 4,769 homes sold on the MLS in the region last month. This is up nearly 18% compared to last year. It's also 35% above the 10-year May sales average, and it ranks as the highest-selling May on record. Home sellers are becoming more active in recent months, although that activity is being outpaced by the home buyer demand today. There were 6,289 new listings added to the MLS in May, which is almost 12% higher than last year. All totaled, there are 7,726 homes currently listed for sale on our MLS. This is down 37% compared to May 2015, but a 2% increase from last month. Our market continues to be underpinned by strong economic and job growth in Metro Vancouver. The benchmark price for all residential properties rose to $889,000 in May. That's a nearly 30% increase over last year. At just under 37%, detached homes have seen the largest increase over this period, while condos and townhomes have increased about 22% and 25%. To help us better understand the strength of today's market, we measure home buyer demand, fueled by home sales, against home seller supply, fueled by the number of home listings. This measurement today gives us a sales to active listing ratio of almost 62%. This is reflective of a strong seller's market. Generally, analysts say that downward pressure on home prices occurs when the ratio dips below the 12% mark, while home prices often experience upward pressure when it reaches 20% in a particular community for a sustained period of time. This brings us to this month's Realtor View segment. This month, we're looking at the differences in demand in today's market. We're seeing broad home buyer demand in our region today. People are finding, however, that the intensity of demand will differ depending on area, property type, and the balance between supply and demand. Let's take a closer look. The west side of Vancouver is at the higher end of our market. Here, the benchmark price of a detached home was $3.4 million. This is up nearly 65% over the past 5 years. During this period, the sales to active listings ratio has generally remained high, with the last year above the 20% margin, which is the point where we'll see upward pressure on prices. Condos in the area tell a different story. The benchmark price of a condo in Vancouver West is $673,000, which is up nearly 42% since 2011. The vast majority of this growth has been in the past year when demand brought the sales to active listing ratio above 20%. Different areas also have their own market conditions. In Maple Ridge, for example, the benchmark for a single-family home is about $670,000. This is up 43.5% over the past 5 years. Up until last year, the sales to active listing ratio for these homes remained under 20%, which somewhat insulated prices. For condos in the area, the benchmark is $187,000, which represents a 1.6% decrease over the past 5 years. This is because lower demand and higher supply have existed in this market. We see other patterns across Metro Vancouver. For example, prices for townhomes in North Vancouver, New Westminster, and Richmond have grown between 35% and 38% over the last 5 years due to higher sales to active listing ratios. Vancouver East townhomes, on the other hand, have grown 45% over the same period because of higher demand. As a home buyer or seller in today's market, it's important to do your homework to know how demand differs in your local neighborhood. For further housing market information, go to the News and Stats section of this website. For the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, I'm Dan Morrison.